Friday afternoon, March 24th. We are live in the Legacy Club at Raley Field. You guys know Greg Veroza, Greg Bowl, and we're joined by Robert Barsanti of the Sacramento River Cats. And today, we're just going to go ahead and preview the upcoming season, changes at Raley Field.
Which are tons of.
Yeah, tons of changes. And just kind of get into players to watch, players to be excited for, and baseball's back, so we're super excited for that. So, first of all, Robert, your position with the River Cats, you are the...
Yeah, I'm the media relations coordinator, so kind of everything from, working with external media like you guys, all of our press releases, game stories, baseball information, and then all of our web and social media stuff, too, goes through me.
All right, so very busy guy right here. He handles pretty much everything you see on Facebook and social media that is an outreach before games, during games, and everything in between. So let's start off with Raley Field. Obviously today the weather is crappy, but it doesn't take away from the walk-around. I mean, you gave us a little walk-around today of some of the changes. Mm-hmm. Concession stands are no more. They're now called storefronts.
Yes.
And there's a lot of them. So if you've ever been to Raley Field, obviously you've come for the hot dog, the dinger dogs, unfortunately, the no more Krispy Kreme donut double cheeseburger. All of those things are essentially, for what you know, the last 20 years, a thing of the past. They're going with more of a themed concession. How did that come about?
Yeah, so every year we kind of focus on one big main project that we want to update. What are the ballpark we're going to update? And so this year we took a look at our concession stands, and they haven't really changed since the ballpark opened. So we thought, what can we do to kind of freshen this up, make this more exciting, give a little bit more options. And so yeah, like you said, each concession storefront is now its own really storefront where they're themed out. So you've got Oso's Mexican Cantina, which is all new Mexican stand with street tacos, nachos, different options there. Coop and Kennel is kind of like an Irish pub theme looking storefront, and it's got all of your hot dog and your chicken strips, and I had some really good fish and chips down there yesterday.
Yeah, thanks for not inviting us the day.
It was kind of a surprise to me, but we'll see what we can do to get you.
Why couldn't that adult milkshake place be doing that?
That's what. Yeah, so the sweet spot. Yeah.
We'll take a little verbal tour around Raley Field. So starting out in center field, obviously there's Toyota Home Run Hill. Mm-hmm. There's the family area. There's now the kids zone. There's a new Tower Bridge themed play structure.
Yeah,
it's right dead center in center field. We can actually see it from here, the tips of the tower.
Yep.
And they're gonna. So that's obviously gonna be. Is that gonna be free for kids to play?
Yeah. So the down on the farm kids area is gonna be free again, like it was last year. And we spent some time this offseason adding, like you said, that really cool Tower Bridge play structure. It's got like 5 slides on it, a bunch of stuff you can climb on, things you can swing on, and it's cool. You can see it right now. You see it right in front of the real Tower Bridge, which is pretty awesome. And then also new is the mist pad area. So when we've got those 100-degree, first pitch nights, the kids will have the kind of misting water coming up out of the ground to go run through and have some fun with that. So
maybe a warning to all parents is to make sure that you bring a couple extra changes of clothes.
Bring a towel. Bring a towel
if you think your kids will be running around through there.
So gone are the days of the inflatables, the slides.
There will still be some inflatables, but we're trying to kind of make it a little bit more permanent. Kind of freshen that all up as well. The wiffle ball field that we put in last year is still going to be there as well, so you can get out there and then play on the wiffle ball field. So that'll still be out there and free for kids and families to go play in, and it should be a lot of fun.
Right on, and then continuing our way around out into the right field corner, you still have the Sacktown Smokehouse.
Yep, Sacktown Smokehouse.
Barbecue under the tents. And then just coming down the concourse line, obviously you still have, for all the adults that are curious about the Merlino Freeze is still out there, their little stand. I know Greg's excited about that.
Everybody loves Merlinos.
Summer doesn't start until you officially have the first Merlinos of the year.
I love it. Merlinos is always a favorite.
And then there is the Coors Light cold box. Mm-hmm. Coldest beer in the ballpark is in the walk-in refrigerator. Next to that we have Sweet Spot. It's a standalone sweet stand. There used to be one closer to the home plate area on the concourse. Yep. It's now, in my mind, in a much more obvious place, I guess you could say. A lot of families, a lot of kids are out in the outfield section. Might as well bring the suites that parents are going to spend all their money on closer to where the kids are. ice cream, milkshakes.
Yep.
All the standard staples of a ballpark, but there's something for adults there too, right?
Yeah, so we're adding in what we're calling, as of now, adult milkshakes. So things like beer floats and maybe like a bourbon shake or something like that. I know they're still hammering out the final menu for that, but there'll be something fun down there for the adults to enjoy too.
Okay, so just, keep in mind, if you have a taste testing day for that, we're always available.
Absolutely. We'll make sure that you know. Yeah.
I'll Uber down. I'll be the official taste tester. Above that is the Tito's Vodka Club.
Tito's Vodka Solon Club up there. They'll be back again. There's Tito's Solon Club last year. They're back again this year.
And then there's also the Blue Moon Party Deck. If you have a group outing, it's definitely recommended to check that out. Continuing down the concourse, Golden Spike Chop House.
Yeah.
Gourmet burgers,
some kind of like fancier hot dog items, kind of just like your traditional kind of burger, burger. I know I'm excited for like the blue cheese burger. I think is going to be pretty popular. It should be fun down there.
Blue cheese is not my
not
my cup of tea. I'm starting to like it. My wife loves blue cheese.
Okay,
she sneaks it into my salads. I'm starting to get a little taste for it, but it's out there. The one you mentioned already, the one you're most excited about, Oso's Mexican Cantina.
Yes.
This was brought on primarily. You mentioned the end of year survey of fans.
Yeah.
What would you like?
Yeah.
And street tacos won hands down, huh?
Yeah, every year we send out a survey to our fans and our season ticket holder members, and pretty much anybody that bought a ticket or came to the ballpark, and asked them what was your experience, what can we do different, and we always hear that street tacos. Where are the street tacos? And so we went ahead and we not just street tacos, but an entire Mexican themed storefront. So like I mentioned the tacos, the nachos, and some other different things down there as well.
Right on. And then next to that, not open yet, there's going to be a Raley's storefront. They're going to have like deli sandwiches and different things like that. A little bit further down the way, now this is past the team store, the main entrance, the ticket office, all of that, is Basic Burgers. It's Cadillac Diner.
Yeah.
We're going to have Basic Burgers, hot dogs, more of the 50s style diner. That's the first thing that caught my eye was the bright chrome and pink and blue.
It's a cool looking
storefront. Really cool. Unfortunately, you kind of already broke my heart. The Krispy Kreme bacon cheeseburger will not be offered at that stand anymore.
My blood sugar, my diabetes doctor, and everybody else I know thanks you.
Well, you're welcome for them, and I'm sorry for you. That's actually kind of on that though. That's one of the cool things because all the concessions, all the food services are in house now. We kind of have a little bit more freedom to do whatever we want with it. So if there's a lot of people with you, Greg, and they come storming the gates, demanding their donut bacon cheeseburger, that's something that we'd be able to adjust on the fly. And if we want to or need to, we can kind of alter the menu as the season goes on and introduce new items.
I will get a change.org petition going and get as many people as I can.
On behalf of Greg Bull, anybody who's watching this, send an email to Robert at River Cats demanding that Greg be able to get his Krispy Kreme bacon cheeseburger.
No, I'll just go to Krispy. I'll just bring my own donuts.
Bring your own donuts. There you go.
Buy a burger and then just put it together. There we go. Coop and Kennel Pub.
Yes.
Fish and chips. That's a London style pub. Another really cool storefront.
Yeah.
Based on outside looks alone. Looking forward to that one. And then Bridges Burgers. It's going to be basically the mirror of the
same menu.
Golden Spike Chop House.
Same menu as the Golden Spike Chop House. So Golden Spike is, like you mentioned, down the first base, right field line, and so Bridges Grill will kind of mirror that. So there's an option on the left field side of the ballpark. So you don't have to walk all the way around. And then it's important to know, I think, that your classic nachos, your classic hot dogs, those will be available at every stand. So if you're just looking for your Cracker Jacks and your soda, you can get that anywhere. If you want something a little bit more unique, you can kind of go pick out the storefront for you.
Now, are all the storefronts going to have like dinger dogs too? Is that one of the basic items?
Yeah. Yep.
And now Greg's happy.
I know.
He can scoot to any concession stand and get his dinger dog. Another big fun thing. So that's the new storefronts. That's the major changes to Raley Field for this upcoming season. The other thing that brings a lot of people to the ballpark is theme night. So we'll run through them real quickly here. Monday night is bingo baseball. If you've never been here for bingo baseball, I know the first time I came I was kind of confused by it. Basically, you get a bingo card and there's a grid of pop out to center field, River Cats turn a double play, fourth batter strikes out. Obviously not exact, but basically it's baseball themed items that happen during the game. If you fill out a line on your bingo card, you take it up to the information booth right behind home plate, and they verify that it's a win, and you get some River Cats prizes. There's some game-decided prizes based on that. Tuesday night is Family Value Night. Tuesdays, dollar hot dog, dollar desserts. Great for the kids. Sit out in Home Run Hill. Enjoy a budget-friendly item, and then you can go over to get your adult milkshake and your ding-a-dong.
I doubt are going to be on the dollar menu, but
I don't think so. But
Wednesday, Wellness Wednesdays. Give us a little bit of info on that.
So Wellness Wednesdays were new last year. Looking to expand on them this year, but I think it's really cool. It's every Wednesday there's a different kind of healthy activity or lifestyle activity, either before or after the game. So things like yoga on the field post game is one of the Wellness Wednesday activities. We do a Tour de Cat, which is basically like our little bike ride, Tour de France kind of thing, where we ride up and down the river for a little bit and then end with a lap around the field. We're doing CrossFit, Zumba, and a couple other cool things. So every Wednesday home game, there's a different activity that you can join and be a part of.
Already got our first suggestions. Oscar Zepeda on Facebook says that there should be dollar tacos on Tuesday. You mentioned the Osos. We'll have the street tacos if they can work that into the family night.
I will take that back to our executive chef and see what he thinks.
And then he also said Whiskey Wednesdays, but that's just Oscar in a nutshell there. But I think dollar hot dog, dollar ice cream, dollar street taco. I mean, that could be
not a bad idea.
Dollar street taco, something like that. I think that's you could always, if you ever see anything from Oscar Zepeda, you can always know that it will either have tacos or beer, including any comment you ever see from him. So there's always that.
Good to know.
So that was Wellness Wednesdays. Thirsty Thursdays, $2. I'm guessing Miller or Coors Light, no craft beer.
Not totally sure yet who it's going to be, but it'll be. It won't be your craft beers.
And it's a smaller beer. It's not your giant
$2 beers. 12 and 6 ounce beers down to the Sacktown Smokehouse for every Thirsty Thursday. And that's also when we have. I forgot to talk about this before the show, but the Tito's Trolley is coming back again too. We had Tito's Trolley last year, which was basically a free trolley that ran through a couple different stops in Midtown and downtown and took you here to the ballpark. And then it took you back after the game to those same 3 drop-off locations.
Oh, cool.
Very cool.
So, if you're getting your pregame dinner, pregame drinks over in Midtown or downtown somewhere, just hop on the trolley and cruise on over.
I'm assuming now that Golden One's open and Doco's starting to come around, one of those trolley stops may be around like Sauced and El Rey and some of those new restaurants down there.
I think they're reevaluating the schedule and the stops from last year. We had 3 last year, and I think they want to try and add one more this year. I'm not totally sure where the stops are going to be.
I think that Golden One hub would probably be a really good idea, considering most Kings fans now, that's their eccentric place. There's Sauce, there's Pregame, there's El Rey, and Molten Mash. All those new bars are a hot spot for sure. So there's that one there. Friday, obviously, Orange Friday. The River Cats will be wearing their orange Sacktown jerseys. There's live music before the game. There's drink specials before and during the game. And they've added fireworks back in. Right?
Yeah, fireworks are back for Fridays, so that'll be a lot of fun. Fridays are always, the party starts an hour before with the live music and the drink specials, then it ends half hour after the game with the fireworks. It's a whole block party night of fun stuff, kind of around River Cats baseball.
And then Saturday night is the fireworks night as well. It's the Sutter Health fireworks.
Yeah, Sutter Health Saturday fireworks. Yep.
And I will say this: if you've never been to a game at Raley Field, which I can't imagine many people haven't, but if you're going to come to a game for the first time, or if you've never seen fireworks at Raley Field, you have to come to a fireworks night.
Yeah, they're awesome.
I can honestly say that I've been to most of the firework displays, even on 4th of July around the area, and a weekly fireworks show at Raley Field for a post-game tops even Cal Expo's 4th of July fireworks display, in my opinion.
That is very kind of you.
And so it's always one of my favorites to come to. The kids love it, obviously. And it's a great time. It's, like you said, it's 30 minutes after the game, or 30 minutes or so, it carries on. And they're long fireworks shows, too. It's not just a couple fireworks. It's a pretty good, lengthy fireworks show.
Yeah, it's one of the things when you're doing them so often, you don't want them to just feel routine and boring. So we're always, different music or different themes or even the kind of fireworks that we're using on a various night or whatever, just kind of keep it different and exciting because we do a lot of them. So you don't want it to get tired.
And fun fact, even when the game goes 15, 16, I believe it was 17 innings last year, on a firework night, the fireworks were still shot off after that game. Because I remember reading about it on social media. People in the area around here were mad about it because it was like 1 in the morning and fireworks started going off. But when you pay for a firework game, you get your fireworks here at Raley Field.
Yeah.
And it's Sunday Fun Day. Kids get to run the bases post game. Part of the Dinger Kids Club packages that are available for that. But before we get into the baseball side of things, How obviously I saw a promotion a couple days ago. Season tickets are still available. Partial season tickets, group packages, the Giants pack, all of those things are still available.
Yep.
Where can people go for that? Where can they still get information on those different packages, the different perks that come along with them?
Yeah, totally. I mean, everything, you can find everything and anything just if you go to rivercats.com. There's a whole tickets and promotions section kind of along the top there. You see the different tabs. Tickets and promotions has links to individual game tickets. It has links to our promotion schedule so you can see what different events are going on. It also has links to our special ticket packages, so things like the Giant pack, like our Family 4 pack. We're doing a fun college night ticket pack, which will be really cool this year. So all those different packages and theme events are all there as well. And you can always just call our ticket staff. It's the number is all over the website. It's 916-376 hits. So whatever hits is on a keypad. I know 4487. 916-376-4487. So that's
you just went through your T9 texting brand.
I did, yeah. My first phone had that T9. Push that, and that, tapping 17 times to spell a 4-letter word.
Exactly.
But yeah, so tickets are still available. Opening night's 13 days away. We got the scrimmage the day before that, which would be a lot of fun as well.
Versus
against
the San
Jose Giants. Yeah.
And then what kind of giveaways are we going to have this year? Are we going to see?
Yeah, totally. Some really cool giveaways this year. I'm most excited for the Johnny Cueto Giants bobble shimmy.
Nice.
So instead of a traditional bobblehead, it's actually it's like at his waist. So Cueto's famous for his little shimmy on the mound, so his bobblehead is going to shimmy at the waist.
I think I heard them talking about that on KBR too.
Yeah, the Giants are doing the same one, so we're kind of jumping on with them for that one. But that one's going to be really cool. We're doing a Buster Hugs blanket, which should be a lot of fun. It's kind of a picture of Buster posing in his catcher's gear with his arms spread for a big Buster hug.
Nice.
I think it'll be really cool to see a lot of those just kind of out on the grass hill out there on that giveaway night. Families sitting on that new blanket. And yeah, it's a lot of really other cool stuff too as well. I think there's 6 or 7 giveaways this season that we've got going on. But yeah.
Now, before we get into baseball, so I'm kind of curious. Since you guys now are an affiliate of the Giants, is there a lot of cross promotion? Is there a lot of communication between you guys in the promotions department and the social media department between the two clubs, or?
Yeah, totally. I mean, we're always communicating with them. We kind of cross promote a lot of different events as well. The first thing that comes to mind is things like the Giant Race. They brought the Giant Race out here to Sacramento, really popular over in San Francisco, and they do it in Scottsdale as well. And now we're doing it here in Sacramento. People love that.
They won in San Jose as well. It's a 4-tiered race system now.
Yeah,
series now. It's
yeah.
cool.
So that's really cool that we've got that, and so communicating things like that, things like giveaways, where the Buster Hug blanket is also another Giants giveaway that we're jumping on to. They're really open and they communicate really well with us, and it's been a good.
So for some of those giveaways, if you can't afford to, or you can't get a ticket to AT&T Park, you can always come out here and get the same.
Totally. Or if you just want more than one, go catch a game over there. And
the nice thing that I noticed last year, and I'm sure it'll be the same this year and going forward, since the affiliation change, was the quality of the giveaway got a lot better as well. A couple years ago, they did the former player bobblehead,
I was gonna say the same
and it was about this big of a bobblehead. And if you remember, Barry Zito was right-handed on the bobblehead.
I heard about this.
I have one of those.
And a lot of people were upset about the quality of the giveaway. But starting last year, I saw the Hunter Pence bobbleheads that were given away and a couple other stuff. Everything is starting to come up to the higher quality that people are expecting. So if you're a little bit hesitant about a shimmy bobblehead that's going to be this big and it just shifts, I can almost pretty much guarantee you it's not going to be the same from years past. So there's definitely a lot more that goes into those giveaways in Sacramento now that they're linked with the Giants. Last thing, non-baseball. Well, 2 more things, non-baseball.
Yeah.
Free parking from last year is no more. It is a $10 parking. Unless you have 4 or more people in your car, you can go on the River Cats website and download basically a carpool parking pass that'll get you into the parking lot for free for parking on those nights. And the other is on the field. The AAA baseball and minor league baseball in general is very, very good with mixing things up a little bit. There's the different jerseys. There's the different promotions that they do. This year there are 6 6 different jersey variations, along with obviously the River Cats. Sometimes they'll wear a throwback jersey or whatever, but 6 themed jerseys that are aside from standard baseball operation. There's the Independence jersey, which will be red, white, and blue the night before.
Yeah, we also have our big Independence Day Eve game. We always do that every year with specialty red, white, and blue jerseys. We'll have that.
There's Armed Forces, which I'm assuming is going to be some sort of camo.
Actually, we did a really cool thing this year. We kind of crowdsourced the jersey design. We had people submit photos of their family and loved ones in uniform. So whether it's like a portrait or kind of a group photo or whatever it was, and we're using those photos to do kind of a collage on the sleeves of the jersey. Yeah,
that's
so
awesome.
we just sent that off to be designed and created. So haven't seen what the final product looks like, but the renderings looked really cool on that jersey. So I'm really excited about that one.
Right on. There's going to be Comic Cat, which is going to be the Comic Con night, theme night. It's going to be this one is the kid design for the other one. Comic Cat, so it's going to be like a comic book style.
Yeah, exactly.
Design.
It says River Cats across the chest and kind of your classic, comic book font.
Tau.
Yeah, exactly.
And all those, yeah. Then there's Farm to Fork Night, which is going to be obviously centered around Sacramento's claim to be the nation's farm to fork capital.
Yep.
And then there's a fan submitted, actually kid fan submitted, Princess to Pirates Night.
Yeah, so Princess and Pirate Night's we do it every year, one of our big theme nights. The kids love it. You come dressed out as a pirate or a princess or something in between, a ninja if you want to. And we give away things like eye patches and tiaras and magic wands and everything to the kids. But we decided to add a specialty jersey onto that this year. And so because it's a night mostly focused on the kids, we thought, why not let the kids kind of see what they want the jersey to look like. So we'll kind of, like the same thing we do with the Armed Forces one, we'll kind of crowdsource that and get some designs and see what we can put together based on what we get.
Right on. And then the last one, Rockford Peaches. If you're not familiar with it, it's from the Tom Hanks and Madonna movie ages ago. You're the only one that was around when that came out.
There's no crying in baseball.
There's no crying in baseball. League of Their Own night. So the River Cats will be wearing a sub-dyed pink replica of the jersey from the movie, The League of Their Own, which will be interesting to see, to say the least. But I think it'll be a fun night. I can almost assure you that there's going to be a lot of older folks at that game. And then with that,
before we go on, so do you guys? I know in the past you guys have auctioned those jerseys off.
Yes. So we will still be auctioning off the ones that are worn. Player worn jerseys will still be available for auction. So during the game up on the concourse, you go put in your bid for what jersey, what number, what player you want, and then if you win that auction, you get to go down on the field after the game, get the jersey from the player. They'll sign it, do some pictures with you. So
awesome.
and then each jersey has a benefiting partner that signs on for that night. That the money will then go towards.
Always a good cause here for games. So let's get to the stuff that most people are going to be excited about. That's the actual between the chalk baseball to be played. Players should start reporting on April 1st. So you should have an idea of what the opening day roster here in Sacramento is going to look like. Some names that are being thrown around a lot. You guys mentioned it earlier on River Cats Live. Michael Morse. So there was a lot of talks in the beginning of the season. He was at Hunter Pence's wedding. He met up with Bobby Evans. He said, look, I'm not done. I still want to play. He said, okay, come to camp. And he's like, I didn't think that was real. And then it turned out they invited him to camp.
Easy. Yeah.
And he said basically that it's Giants or bust for Michael Morse. He doesn't want to play for another franchise. He wants to be a Giant. Which led a lot of people to believe that if he didn't make the club, then you wouldn't see him in Sacramento. It was Giants or bust specifically. He's been having a great spring, hitting the ball all over the park. Hamstring injury now. What are the thoughts on Morse? Do you think that, because a lot of the people are saying that he was in line to make the club, do you see Michael Morse possibly accepting a AAA assignment for rehab, considering how close he was, or that he was a shoo-in to make the big league club?
I think because of how well he was playing in spring training, and he was, like I said, he was driving the ball. We went to a game 2 weekends ago, and I think every at bat he hit the ball, as hard as anybody did that entire game. Every at bat. We saw him hit a home run that cleared dead center and looked like he was still going up
were at that game?
when it left the park. And
I heard nothing. They were talking about that for 2 days.
Yeah, no one had hit a ball that far at Scottsdale Stadium. I think because of the spring he was having, I think now he may may be open to the idea of coming back. Because I think the talk seemed to be, that he was going to make the club, that he was playing well enough and he was hitting well enough that they were going to put him on the 25-man. And so I think because that's kind of where people thought he was going, I think he's open now to the idea of, okay, I've proved that I can do this still, so if I can get healthy, I might have a shot still. So he'll come down here, I think, to do that rehab and then go back and try and get on the Giants again.
Yeah, I mean, and anyone that says, "Oh, he was washed up last year, he couldn't play," he had like 17 at bats for Pittsburgh, got released, and then didn't play again. So you can't really look at him and saying, "Oh, he had a bad year." He didn't really have a year.
Didn't really have a year at all. He had
a 2-week, and then was pretty much. And then he got healthy, got in shape, whatever. So there's that. Pitching right now, there's two names that River Cats fans, I think, are going to be chomping at the bit to see here, but obviously for San Francisco, they're right on the cusp of becoming part of the rotation up there. That's Ty Block and Beatty.
Yeah.
Obviously, Block, I think, has a better opportunity to remain on the club simply for the fact that his end of year and playoffs last year were remarkable for a young pitcher. And Beatty, I think, coming from Double-A, or no, he was in Single-A last year.
He was in Double-A last year.
So he was in Richmond last year. Making the jump now might be a little bit soon. Do you expect to see either one of those guys on the opening rotation here in Sacramento?
I expect to see both. I know there's a lot of people that think Block is going to find his way onto the Giants roster, and with the recent Will Smith injury, maybe Block makes it into the bullpen somehow. But I expect to see both of them here to start the year, and I think they're probably 1 and 2, getting the call up if there's an opening or if someone's struggling or there's an injury. But I would think, especially Beatty, who's never pitched at AAA. He had a great year last year at Richmond. He had a great spring too. So I do think that they feel confident that he could do it if they needed him to. But I think they'll both start the year here in Sacramento. For how long they'll be here, anyone's guess. But
right. So get out early if you want to see young arms. If you're excited by reminiscing on the Lincecum, the Canes, the Bumgarner ascent into stardom, then you're going to want to get out early and see these two guys pitch because they look.
He's the number one prospect in the Giants system, so it's going to be cool to have the number one guy, in the organization.
And they're also
here.
excited now. Is Arroyo, the infielder, is he going to be here too?
Yep, and Arroyo's number 2 right behind him. I think he'll be here as well.
They're already saying that Arroyo likely will be the opening day starter for the San Francisco Giants in 2018. They're already penciling him in as the infielder of the future, the third baseman of the future for the Giants. He had another great year last year. I mean, he came up here last year late, right?
No, he's never played above Double-A. So he spent his entire season last year down in Richmond,
and just knocked the snot off the ball everywhere he could. I mean, fielding wise, he's remarkable.
But I don't think he's ever played a lot of third base. So I think
not until late last year. He came up as a shortstop. They had him playing a little bit of second, and then kind of around the time of the Duffy trade, he started playing a lot more third base down in Richmond. And so I know that this spring he's been working a lot on being able to play all three, just to keep himself versatile, so he can play short, second, or third wherever he's needed.
And anyone that ever considers criticizing the Giants farm system, for poor records or whatever it may be for the last couple of years, you got to think about just the infield and for the San Francisco Giants. You have Buster Posey, Brandon Belt, Joe Panic, Crawford, and then now probably Arroyo at third base. You can't get, and then a huge mix-up of all these homegrown pitching talents. Yeah. You can't get much better than that. Find me a team in Major League Baseball that has a better homegrown infield or homegrown team, period. Yeah. You're not going to find it. And then there's a couple names that were a part of the River Cats last year. They got called up, that moved back down. The Giants obviously didn't bring back Angel Pagan, so that automatically opened up a competition in left field. Yes. The early talk was Jared Parker and Mac Williamson competing, and then maybe Gorkys Hernandez out there as well, allowing Denard Span possibly to move over to left field if Hernandez can get a spot. What have you seen? You got to go down and watch some games down there in Arizona. Yeah. Parker's been he's been on fire early in the spring. Williamson, we've seen sparks of greatness from him last year. Totally. Where do you see those guys now with Michael Morse in the picture, as far as left field in San Francisco, or possibly back down here just to kind of stay fresh?
I think it was kind of interesting that after like 2.5 weeks of spring training, Parker and Williamson had almost identical numbers. They're both hitting like between 320 and 330. They each had 3 or 4 home runs. The big difference was Parker had drawn almost twice as many walks as Williamson had, and I think I think Parker might have had a slight edge going into camp because he's out of options. So if he didn't make the team, the Giants would have to put him out as a free agent. He'd have to clear waivers
and then
come back. And I'm 100% sure somebody else would have claimed him, and he would have gone to another team. He's too good to be for a team not to take him. So I think he had the edge going in, and I think with Williamson, what has it been about a week now? He's been dealing with I think a strained oblique, and so he hasn't played quite as much. And Parker has just continued to hit. So I think that Parker's going to start with the Giants in left field on opening day, and I think Williamson will be back here with us, which I don't think Williamson hasn't played a full year at any one level in his career. He
in one position since he's come into the he's been kind of that he like Tomlinson has kind of been that hey, we need you here, go play it. You know, aside from
up
pitching,
and down,
go
back
play.
And forth. And so I think his one full uninterrupted season was in San Jose, and he hit like 30 home runs and 290 with almost 100 RBIs. And so I think I don't think he'll get a full season here in Sacramento. I expect to see him playing in San Francisco in this coming season. But I think if he could get a consistent season somewhere, I think we'd start to see that kind of production again. And he's still only 25 or 26 years old, so he's still got some time. But I think we'll see him starting here in the outfield for the River Cats.
And then the other names that a lot of Giants fans are excited about who accepted minor league deals, there was Beckham, there was the Jimmy Rollins, there was the Aaron Hills. You were mentioning before we came in here, don't expect likely to see any of those big name guys except for maybe Michael Morse on a rehab assignment down in Sacramento.
Yeah, I think with a lot of veteran guys like that, when you sign them to a minor league deal, they get they have some kind of out in their contract where if they don't make the 25-man squad, then they can choose to be released and can sign another deal with another team that might want them on their 25-man squad. So I think Morse we might see in a rehab situation. And I don't think Beckham actually just asked for his release yesterday, so he's actually already been released. And I don't expect to see Rollins or Hill if they don't make the 25-man. I don't think we would see them here. The talk though recently sounds that like Aaron Hill might make the 25-man with the injury to Nunez and Morse and Williamson, that they might have him as an option as well. So could be interesting. I don't think we'll see them here in Sacramento though.
Right on. So once the season rolls around, for River Cat fans that are looking for that, that new player to watch, potential favorite player, early on, obviously, the sexy name to follow after would be the Beaties, the Blogs, the Arroyos, but they may not be here long term. If you had to throw out a name or two right now that are going to be likely, barring injury, season-long River Cats that are still in the developmental path to San Francisco, what names would you see right now that says you need to come and watch this player? They're going to be a player that you're going to want to hang on to.
Totally. I think the first one has got to be Austin Slater for sure. He joined us midway through the season last year. He was leading the Eastern League. That's Richmond's their conference. He was leading the league in batting average at the time he was promoted. He struggled a little bit when he first got here, just adjusting to the higher level of pitching, the higher level of play. But his August, he hit over 300 with something like 10 home runs and 26 RBIs to win Player of the Month in August in the PCL last year. And he's still a younger guy. He only recently started playing in the outfield. He came up as a second baseman. He's been playing outfield now for about a year and a half. So I think he's definitely someone to keep an eye on. Slater. And then some other names. Hunter Cole is another outfielder that I think is interesting. I don't know if we'll see him maybe until middle of the season. And then in the bullpen, Ray Black is a guy that I think is going to be a lot of fun to watch. He most famous for throwing 104 and 105 in an Arizona Fall League a couple years ago.
Good Lord.
He struggled with some arm injuries, but I think that he's healthy and ready to go. So if he's here in our bullpen, we'll very likely get to see a guy throwing triple digits on the mound, which should be a lot of fun.
Right, and then last player to ask about, the and I can't think of his name, and if I saw it, I'd probably butcher it anyways. The young, I want to say shortstop they signed from Japan.
Korean third baseman, Jae-Yun Hwang.
Okay, there you go.
We've been practicing it because we expect to see him here too. He's a non-roster guy, so he doesn't have a spot on the roster yet. But so that means he could come here to AAA. He's had a great spring also. And one of the things you think about with Korean players is how are they going to adjust to MLB pitching. That's usually the biggest difference, the thing that people cite most. And based on his spring training, I think he's having very little trouble adjusting. I think he's seen the ball well. He's hitting the ball hard. He's got a couple of home runs this spring. So I think he'll be here in Sacramento. I think he should be a lot of fun to watch. I do think he could be one of the first guys to go, though, if there is an opening in the infield in the Giants, if it's an injury or a trade or whatever it is. Kind of like the Ramiro Pena of last year, who went up and played shortstop and second base. I think Huang could be one of the guys that gets called up early if there's an opening and go play third base, shortstop, second base up there.
So with a guy like Wang coming in from Korea,
or
whatever, however you
practice it.
I know I got to practice it. Does that present any kind of problems for the organization in terms of lodging and translators and things like that?
Totally, yeah. He actually has a full-time translator that stays with him, goes to the ballpark with him, lives they either share a place or they've got a place next door. So that'll be kind of basically we'll go through him. And I know that he made a point when he first showed up to spring training of letting people know that he spent a year studying English because he wanted to be able to communicate on his own when he was out here. I haven't had a chance to speak with him. We didn't see him when we were down at spring training, so I don't know firsthand what that is like. But I know he has a translator full time, and that he's making efforts to kind of assimilate and be able to communicate with his teammates and the fans and whatnot.
Right on. And then the last thing I want to ask about, because it came up last week out of San Francisco, the big name, one of the biggest names in San Francisco history.
That's right. Yeah.
Barry Lamar Bonds signed he has a new role with the organization. He's going to be a special advisor to Larry Baird, the CEO of the San Francisco Giants, and he's going to work with minor leaguers in so far an unknown capacity. They don't know what he's going to work with, but should Giants fans and older Giants fans who got to watch Bonds play, do you anticipate some opportunity for those people to see their former, favorite player, their former legend or so down here in Sacramento working with the River Cats in any kind of capacity?
Yeah, I think it's a very real possibility. Again, we don't know exactly what kind of role Bonds will be filling with this new job and kind of how he'll be interacting with the minor league players. But I mean, we have Giants coaches coming down all the time, working with players, whether there's in the clubhouse being available or they're in the dugout during the game, kind of working on base running or hitting or whatever it is. And so I'd expect that we'll see him, maybe a couple of times during the season at most, but I'd imagine he'd want to be involved and stick around for some games and probably watch from the dugout and work with the players before games and after games. So just how available or what kind of role he'll have while he's here, don't really know that as of now, but I think that we can safely assume he will at least be here a couple of times this coming season.
And the coaching staff for this year, is that pretty much the same as it was last year?
Well, we have a new manager this year. So our manager last year, Jose Alguacil, Augie,
he's now the third
he is the first base coach. So he was promoted.
Yeah, didn't he have a health? Was it
Get hit by a line
He did,
drive.
yeah. He got hit by a line. It was actually like a check swing foul ball. And, at spring training they sit kind of behind the home plate on the field. And he took a check swing foul ball. It got him right in the eye. And I know that they airlifted him to the hospital from the field there. We saw him 2 weeks ago when we were down there for spring training, so it was about a week after the injury. And he was in good spirits. He was still they weren't letting him back to the ballpark yet, even though he wanted to. They were making him take some more time to rest. But I think he went back either yesterday or the day before.
Okay, good.
So I'm sure he's still taking it easy, but he's at least back at the ballpark. So Augie, our former manager, now the first base coach for the Giants. And our new manager, his name is Dave Brundage. Goes by Brundy. So we went from Augie to Brundy, and we got to meet him as well while we were down in Arizona. He's a really great guy. He's coming up on 20 years as a manager in the minor leagues, and so he's been around. He's got overall a winning record. He was at Lehigh Valley last year, and they had a really good season there. So we're excited to have him out here. I know he's excited to come out to Sacramento, so it should be fun. Damon Miner back as our hitting coach, former Giant as well, and Dwight Bernard has been our pitching coach ever since the affiliation switch. So his third season with the River Cats.
Right on. So, on behalf of Greg, I definitely want to thank you, Robert, for taking some time out of your morning.
Sure.
Opening night, April 6th, 7:05.
7:05 first pitch. Gates will open at 6.
6 o'clock. So get out early. Enjoy the ballpark. As always, it's beautiful. Don't let the weather scare you away. We're sitting here looking out right now, and it's dark, gloomy gray skies, and
the field looks amazing.
Field looks good, though, right?
The field and everything that is around this stadium lifts you up. You can't beat it. Once we finish here, before we take off, I will do a quick Facebook Live just walk through, show you some of the facades of the new storefronts. I'll let you guys see the field in all of its beauty. And, we'll get you guys hyped up. Again, it's April 6th, so it's 13 days away.
13 days away.
Opening night, baseball will be back in Sacramento. And you can also get tickets for the scrimmage April 5th against San Jose Giants. That's the single A affiliate of the San Francisco Giants. So there's going to be a lot of future prospects on the field for that game.
Yeah, I'm excited. Should be cool.
So come on out, Raley Field. As always, it's always a great opportunity to watch future players, some older players, and just get baseball back because let's face it, it's not summertime until you hear that first pitch and that national anthem. So, Robert, I want to thank you.
Before we go, what's really nice about the River Cats is they truly, truly are looking out for the fans' best interest and listening to the fans and providing. We talked about this earlier that it's almost the baseball's important, but the experience itself is just as important. And the River Cats are really listening to what you guys want and what's best for the fans. And there's talk about what's going on with one of the other professional franchises in town about not really caring about what the fans want, think, and at least that's how I feel as a season ticket holder. But you don't get that feeling here. Everything is to make the experience of the fans better. So I want to thank you on behalf of River Cats fans.
Appreciate that
you guys do that and really think about the fans first.
Yeah, and the other thing too, we've mentioned on our Sunday night shows, with the help of Robert this year, we're hoping to really kind of catapult ourselves as far as the River Cats coverage. I mean, it's a professional level sport. There's multiple here in the area. You have soccer, you have basketball, you have baseball. And at least me personally, and Greg, we've talked about it, they almost feel kind of like the River Cats are the stepchild in the situation out here. A lot of the major radio networks and TV networks, they'll cover it briefly. It's a couple, when there's a big player down, but there's not really a lot of River Cats coverage. Right. So we're hoping that we'll be able to get out here a little bit more this season, cover that, cover a lot of the players, get a lot more insight into the everyday aspect of Raley Field and the River Cats, and hopefully bring a lot more coverage, especially out to our listeners and the folks around here that may not see it and may not have a chance to come out and catch the games, whatever. They don't read about it in the paper or hop on the website or whatever. So again, thank you very much, Robert, for taking some time out of your day, giving us access to this beautiful Legacy Club to take care of this one today.
And a cool background too.
Yeah. I don't know that we're going to get this at our studio, but we'll definitely work on it. But we'll hopefully be out here again, multiple times this year, obviously, for games, and hopefully we can maybe do some sit-downs again like this.
Totally.
Midway through the year when some call-ups and stuff start happening, and we'll go from there.
Cool.
So,
Sounds
all right,
good.
guys. So remember, April 6th, opening night, 7:05 first pitch, Raley Field. Tickets online at rivercats.com, and there's still a ton of seats available. You can always sit out in the grass and have a picnic and enjoy all the new happenings.
Cool.
Thanks.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
All right.